Hey, hello, day 107. Today we're doing Tai Chi for your everyday. So my ambition today is to get you thinking about all the places that you can add Tai Chi, or when you're doing Tai Chi, it just automatically kind of sifts into your life and you notice all of a sudden you're using it in ways you hadn't anticipated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a seated set, a Tai Chi set, and this is again to get the flow going in the body so that you have everything running optimally before we start. Okay, and just remembering sitting up nice and tall. When you choose to sit, sit up. Sit up and allow the spine to be as relaxed as possible so that you have the flow happening. As soon as you lean back, you cut off all the energy. And your poor system is struggling, trying to get everything to work. And all you have to do is sit up. So I have changed to sitting on this bench at my dining room table. I got rid of sitting on my chairs because they didn't assist me energetically. And I thought it's kind of silly. The bench has been sitting here while I've been doing all of these broadcasts. And this actually works so much better for me, and I'm not cutting off the energy at the top of the legs like I do when I'm sitting in those other chairs. And they just have a slant that just pulls you back towards the tailbone, and you keep kind of fighting it to try to get there. Okay, so that's my little thing about sitting on chairs. So you've got your ankles underneath your knees. You're sitting up nice and tall, feeling that lift. And as we go through the set, you're going to notice that ebb and flow that starts to come in when you really start to relax. So we're just going to do the first 17 of the 108 moves in the Tai Chi set. So we're doing the first 17. So we're going to bring the hands together. Ladies, grab the left thumb. Gentlemen, grab the right thumb, forming a yin-yang symbol there with your hands. Really energetically, you're just making a connection and sink. Okay, now nice deep breath in. The arms float and let that go. Turning the hands in, you're going to reach the right hand out, falling into the feet. Awareness into the feet, you're going to push back. So you're back to straight, fall into the feet. Left grasp bird's tail, hold the ball. Fingertips go into the wrist, push into the feet, bow and arrow back. Palm to palm is coming forward. Push into the feet. Two hands go out. Turning the palms over comes past your left hip through lower dantian, forming that cone out on the side and reach out. Pushing into the feet, sitting up nice and tall, sink. Rising up again, hand comes down, falling into your feet. Pushing into the feet, that's going to roll you up. White stork spreads wings, opening the hands, this comes all the way around, and brush knee. Pushing into the feet, nice rise up, spiral around, strum the pepa, open the hands, brush knee. Twist step, brush knee. Twist step, brush knee, pushing into the feet, comes back, strum the pepa, open the hands, brush knee, twist, hold the flowers, comes in, out, wipe, let that go, sink back. Two hands, pushing into the feet, sink. There'll be a lift up through the spine, open the hands, and let that go, sink. Now, connect your hands. We'll just do this. We would be finished our running, but put your hands connecting them through your knees, down towards your feet. I can feel all the way to my hips. The energy is just flowing beautifully. Everything's awake. Nice big breath. And again, the breath is really important to what you're doing. A deep breath means the body is relaxed and the stress is reduced. That changes the way all the systems will function. Let's put the bow in. And so just giving yourself the gift of deep breathing is just so important. And there's our flow. Okay, so we've always started with some kind of movement to make sure that flow is happening. I only did the 17. If you wish to stay seated, you can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the standing set. So we have a chance to run that just for flow again one more time. And I'm going to have the door open because I have something I want to do today with you. Let's close it for the moment. All right, so let's do the set again. And I'll come around this way. All right. Commencement. If you're seated, that's totally fine. Sink. And then we're just going to turn the right toe. Sink. Hold the ball. Left grasp bird's tail. Hold the ball. Step with your right foot. Grasp bird's tail. This time I'm going to put my fingertip into the palm. And over the weeks, we explored all the meanings behind the different positions of the hands. So you have lots that you can go back and work on. Whip to one side, goes past that lower dantian. Sink back into the right. Turn that left foot, heel goes out. Sink. Foot, hand, turning the foot. Glide out. Push into the foot. It's going to take you up. Let that go. Sink. Step with the left foot. Brush knee left. Half a step. Heel goes out. Strum the pig up. Open the hands. Step with that left foot. Brush knee left. Twist step. Brush knee right, twist step, brush knee left, half a step, left heel goes out, strum the ping-pong. I'm just going to back up so you can see me. Open, brush knee left, twist step, hold the flowers, takes you up, step patois, in, out, sink, step through, wipe, two hands, push into the feet, this is left toe, right heel, sink, crossing over, and let that go. So there's the flow again, 17. Really, really simple. Even if that's all you can remember, you don't have 108, that's okay. You have 17. Maybe you don't have 17. You maybe have grasp bird's tail. That's totally fine too. Whatever helps you to get that slow breath happening, relax, put it in there. Just be present with it. Okay, so let's explore how do you put Tai Chi into your everyday? Or how will Tai Chi show up in your everyday? So one of the places I want to take you is on a little journey down my hallway. So I'm just going to bring you around, which is why I had the door open there for a minute. I want to explore with you the stairs. And something that I learned early in my Tai Chi practice was how to properly go up and down the stairs. And I want to share that with you today. So when you go up and down the stairs, a lot of people will step the ball of the foot and they'll drop their heel down and they'll try to push up that way, and they're going to use their knee to do the push. And they'll run up the stairs. I can't even do that anymore. And then to come down the stairs, they'll fall down into the step. What they're doing is I'll come down where you can see me. What they're doing is they're using momentum, and they're also using a drop force. So for those people who have knee challenges or have trouble with strength, that's not going to work very well. And those patterns might serve you while you do have strength, but when you no longer have strength, or you have an injury that appears, you do something to your ankle or your knee or your hip, all of a sudden that's just not possible. How do you navigate the stairs? So this is my gift that was given to me learning Tai Chi, and it's something that I have used ever since then, and I really do focus on how I use that on the stairs. It's slow at first because you have to relearn, but once you've relearned it, it just becomes a way of doing things, so I don't even think about it. First is you want to use the power of the foot, and you already know that by the pumping action that we use in Danyus or in Toyus, going back and forth, okay? So now when you're going to go up the stairs, you want to use the power of the foot on the step. So you place your whole foot on the step, and you don't turn your foot out because that's going to create an imbalance in the muscles. You're going to keep the feet straight forward. If that feels unusual for you, then that's where normal is. So where you've been has not been normal. Okay, what you're going to do is push down into that foot that's up on the step, and the other leg, the hip, is just going to automatically swing through, and it just immediately goes to the next step. And then you're going to push into the next foot, and there's an automatic swing. And that action creates power for you. So now to come down the stairs, typically people fall into the step, and you'll notice my toe turned out to do that. That is going to be the wrong alignment. So what you want to do is sink back like you were going to sit down onto the step, and not really sit on it, but you're going to sink back that way, and you're going to lower yourself with one-legged Danyus. One-legged Danyu. One-legged Danyu. Okay, so my hands were on both sides, which is totally fine, but you just want to be very gentle. So what I'm going to do is just bring this up a bit so you can hopefully see more of me and what I'm doing. So I'm going to go push, 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 and all my power is in my foot. Then I'm going to go sit back, sit back, sit back, sit back. And you'll notice I'm going straight forward with my feet. If I was to fall, I would fall backwards. A lot of people think that they need to be over and falling into the step, and that would mean they would fall forward if they lost their balance or did something. I'm sinking back. The only place I'm going to go is to the closest step, which is not very far. All right. That can take a little bit of challenge to learn. Many people who are imbalanced, it'll show up with, they'll try to lift with their hip, they'll try to pull things across, the toes are going to go out, they're going to use their hands to pull themselves up and down the banister. So a lot of people will start to put their hands into the banister and they'll start pulling. Your arms weren't designed to pull you up and down the stairs. They're only there for balance. And my poor old staircase is not designed for anybody to lean on it. And that's not going to give you the results you're looking for. So that is a little bit about the stairs and how you can practice your Tai Chi on the stairs. So let's go to some of the other things that you'll do around the house. So I thought perhaps you would recognize this little instrument here. So if I bring my vacuum in, lots of people, when they go to vacuum, right, they'll be vacuuming away. And you can see this is with my arm, and it's with one arm. And you can see that all of the muscles on my right side are going to have to extend and then pull. But there really isn't much going on the left side. So the right side's doing all of it. And then later on, you know, you go to reach for something in the yard or the living room or something, and you hurt yourself. And you end up with this knot in the back, and you go, I can't understand where that knot came from. And it's that muscle was doing all that work unsupported by the other side, and there was an imbalance. And when you went to reach for something, it said, oh, I recognize this pattern. and it locked itself up to protect itself, and then you ended up with a tight muscle. So what do? Right? You use your toyu. So now you're going to think this is silly at the beginning because again you have to think about it. But once you get into how the patterning works, the body just kind of moves to it because you kind of get used to it. So if I really wanted to use a toyu, I would turn 1 foot 45, place my foot, and when I go to vacuum, I have 2 arms. And the 2 arms create a balance and a synergy. And I am pushing from 1 foot to the other foot. This is all the stuff we've been practicing for weeks. And all I'm doing is moving. Now, obviously you're going to have to move your feet, but you can move them with that toyu action and you can keep it balanced. The other thing is you always have a dominant hand, right? So mine is my right. Change hands sometimes. Change feet. Okay, so you would be going back and forth also on the other side, making sure that you keep it even. Okay, that's really important. And a lot of times we do crazy things like turn around and you go whip with this and pull and tug. Think about how you're using your feet into the floor to help balance you so that you have the strength and the flexibility to do what you want to do. Okay, so then I was thinking about the floor mop. So I'm just going to move this down a little bit so you can see more of the floor. So this particular mop, when I got it a long time ago, they told me, make sure that you sweep, because this is the sweeping head that's on it, in a figure 8 pattern. If you try to go in and out, it doesn't work as well. It needs a figure 8. Well, we already know what a figure 8 does. And you can see with my legs, I can push back and forth, and I can keep a nice even flow in my body that everything is working together. This is a completely different energy movement with open flow than this, which again is back to arms, stepping, and your lower back is not engaged, so it just starts to lock up to support you and hold you safely. Okay, so that's that little part. So now you go to wash a window. All right, and I'm just going to turn this around so I do have a window here. So you go to wash your window, and the usual thing that you would do, you'd spray, and then you'd go like this, right? And you're going to be using your arm, nothing else really. And then eventually you'll be like, oh, this arm is a little tired. I'll use the other arm for a bit. But what you didn't do is set up a balance. So when you go to start, use the same figure 8 pattern that you used for the floor. And when you go to do the window, you use your legs. I have a couple of plants in front of me too. But you could go back and forth with a figure 8 pattern. Now, you also can make sure that you keep it balanced. The pattern you want to use when you do that, to keep the brain turned on, it goes up in the middle, down the outside, up in the middle. Now you may not start there, you may start the opposite way, and then change it and turn it up. Now why would I focus on that? If you think of your household chores as energy building exercises, they become your Tai Chi. If you take it up in the center, you turn the brain on. If you go down in the center, you turn it off. It will reset itself, but you're talking about energy building. You want to do things that are going to bring the energy up for you, and that's up in the middle. That comes from Brain Gym, comes from, oh, a little bit of freezing there, comes from some of the Touch for Health work that I do, and some of the postural reflex work that I have from Svetlana Maskatova. So as I put all of those little pieces together, there are so many ways you can energize the body with household chores. And when you get into the pattern of this is the way it's done, it's so easy. Okay, so let's go a little bit further. All right, you have It's like a tour of my house. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do it this way. Hopefully my counters are clean. But what I wanted to say was, let's move this so you can see. Here you've got your sink. So now you want to do a little bit of work on your donyus, and you've been doing the seated version, and now you want to stand up. So what you can do is put your feet shoulder width apart, turn your toes open, turn your heels open, and turn your toes a little bit. I'll show that again away from the sink. I just don't have enough room here. You can put your hands on both sides of the sink, and then you can sit back and work on just opening your back. Very simple. Now what you want to do is not grip and hold, because your arms aren't a part of that. It's your feet that you're working with and your legs, same as on the stairs. But you have for balance here, sink and push up. And then sink and push up. Okay? Now, the more advanced you become, the stronger your legs are, the shape that your knees are in, that'll dictate how far you're going to go. But remember, donyus are about opening your lower back. So if your lower back locks up, so if I get here and it doesn't go any further, that's it. That's all I'm going to do, that little action. But if I can get my back to open and expand, then I may be able to go a little bit further. Okay? The sink is a great place to do that. And for those people who've done snakes before, this is also a good place to do snakes. But I'm not teaching that online. That one, you need to be in class and you need to have an instructor, because you want to make sure that your knees and your back are very safe. Okay, so I've talked about the donyu. So let's just adjust that there. And I'll just close this so I don't walk into it. So let's go to the donyu action that I showed you at the sink. Feet shoulder width apart, weight underneath. You know the 9 points of the toes, connecting in with the feet. You're going to open the toes, 45. Open the heels so it's straight. Open the toes just a little bit. That's your donyu position. If I'm holding on to the sink, I'm there. And again, not gripping, just for balance. But if I'm going to do the donyu here, the arms are going to go up. And then again, this is all about opening the back. Finding how in the hips you can be open and relaxed. Sink. Lift. Sink. I haven't talked about this for a little while, but the arms are so important for the internal organs. So you don't have to go down very far to have the impact. Lift. Sink. And that would be your donyu. Okay, and I'm not going very far. It's not to the floor. If I haven't spent time opening my hips and making sure that everything's relaxed, my knees don't like to go very far. Once I really get into a move and I've warmed everything up, I'm good. But prior to that, not good. Okay, so let's go to the donyu. And again, paying attention to the fact. Now, I bent over because I was moving the bench around. But to go to sit, right? You're going to sink. There's your two-legged donyu. That's it. Get out of the chair. Same action. Many people will try to hold on to the arms of the chair and push with their arms, or they'll push, or they'll do this and then try to push up, and then that neck becomes part of the action, and they wonder why later on they have this stiff neck all the time. They can't figure out why it's so tight. And they use that to get up and down. But your arms are your action and sitting. Now, with a group of people, I'm not going to think about putting my arms up and putting my arms down, right? So if I was sitting down with a group of people, I'm not going to go and sit. I'm not necessarily going to do that. But I certainly will plant both my feet, focus on my feet, and focus on my connection to the floor, and sit. And it's very simple. And every time I do that, it's another donyu. And those donyus start adding up across the day. Number of times you go up and down the stairs, number of times you're sitting in a chair, getting up off the chair, starts to add up. Okay, So let's go to the seated danyu and remember the increments that you can work with, because this can be very helpful for you getting into the back of the cupboard to get pots and pans out. Or you're getting paint cans in the garage, something like that. Okay, so here are your hands. They float up and they turn over and sink. And you connect in with your feet. Relax your pelvis, open the knees. Nice and soft, nice deep breaths. You have energy flow. So you just spent an hour checking emails, playing on Facebook, playing crib on the computer, something like that. Taking a break, you sink back from that computer and you really just connect in with the hands, and the whole inside start massaging. Nice deep breath starts to happen and the body calms and relaxes. If you've been sitting in front of the computer, you have the energy off the computer. Your body will have had to work to combat the energy coming off the computer. This gives you a chance to just really relax, tell the body it's safe. Look at how many danyus we did, and we haven't even moved anywhere. It's beautiful. Okay, now you can go into the feet, fall into the feet. Awareness into the feet brings you back. And that's giving you that little massage in the lower back to open the lower back. Coming out. And if you need to strengthen the legs, which is everybody, this is a great exercise for that. And then out and back. All right. So why did I go through that? Here's what I'm going to share with you. You know the seated to standing danyus, so you could play with those. And there are lots and lots of videos of that on the YouTube channel. But now you are into the cupboard to get a pot or pan out. You open the cupboard, and what many people will do is bend over, go for the pot, lift with their back, and pull the pot up. Now, you may not notice it then, but similar to the vacuum cleaner, it'll be later on in the day, you go to do something, the body goes, I remember that action. And you did it too many times, or the pot was too heavy or whatever, and it'll lock. And then you can't understand why. It's recognizing a pattern, and it's trying to keep you safe. Okay? How are you going to get down to get that pot? You use your danyu. So you go down with your danyu, push with your feet, and up. And if you notice, I didn't even lift my arms. I went down, I held onto the pot, and the pot came with me. It came with me because I pushed into my feet and I pushed through my legs. Completely different thing. Now, another thing that people often do is they'll go like this to grab something. And there's that lopsided again. And I showed you already. Go with the toyu. Take the hands. Does that look familiar? Reach out, toe kick. Reach out, toe kick, right? Tai Chi step. So what you do, you reach out. Oh, there's that pot. Push into your feet, brings you back. And again, I didn't lift the pot up. I was able to grab it and push myself back. And I haven't done anything that's going to cause a muscle to go into a spasm. Okay? All right, so that gives you that little piece. Now we have hands. We have lots of things happen with the hands. And I know for lots of people, I'm included, if the arthritis, and I hate to say that word because that means diagnosis, and I hate to say that, but if you have that kind of feeling in your joints where they're just a little bit stiff and even your hands are a little bit tight, remember all of the actions in Tai Chi, all the things we've played with, all of those are working the body flat over, right? Things go back and forth. All of that, hand rotating, all of that changes the way the body is going to function. And again, it's simple. You're just standing. You're out on your deck, looking across your yard, standing at the beach on the water. You are in your favorite place and you just stand, connect your feet into the ground. You can do bare feet onto the ground, that's wonderful. And then just use those exercises to get the flow coming through. You can see how easy. Now, this one, if you don't connect in, you can feel it across your back. So sink, sink. Feel that nice and open. Open the back and find that position so it's nice and comfortable to do that action from. Right. Okay. So I hope I have given you some ideas of ways to go about the things that are in your house, the things that are in the yard. Yesterday was in the grass with the trees, thinking about what you're standing on, the energy that comes from the plants. All of these things support you. So let's go back to a couple of key things in the Tai Chi set. We've talked a lot in low cup as well, but even in the Tai Chi set, move hands like clouds for goal setting. You know it's multidimensional because of the way the movements pass, not straight. They're like going in all directions, all different body parts moving in different directions. Move hands like clouds gives you the opportunity to change your perspective, change direction, find your power. So if you needed to do something where you were thinking, I need a little bit more confidence because I have to go talk to a group of people tomorrow, something like that, then you can think, you have everything you need, it's all around you, you have the power within the body, there's in your legs, you're connected to the ground, everything is grounded, you can see all possibilities, and everything you know to share comes from experience. So it's always there for you. It's yours. You come back, look to one side. That's your golden thread, right? That's coming from your lower dantian, from the golden pill. And you pull that one gift out that you have. That thread comes out. And you can share your gift. That's one way that you could use it for goal setting. We have done brush knee going forward. So if you want to do this one with me, you step forward into your future, or just forward into the yard, whatever it is. You're turning those feet half turn, 45, twist step. You have that spiral action. That spiral action is gaining strength for you and gaining strength as you go forward. And then when you go backwards, sink back into the right, step pakwa with the left, ward off monkey. So now you have all those thoughts in your mind, oh, I'm not good enough, I don't know what I'm talking about, what if I make a mistake, what if I can't remember, oh, what if the words disappear and I don't get my explanation right, da 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 da. All of that shuts down. Ward off monkey is the place to calm the mind. And in all of the postings where you see mindfulness, we have mindfulness in Tai Chi. And it's how you just give in to the movements, let the movements guide you, let the body relax and be nourished by the movements, and the rest just takes care of itself. Brush knee. I absolutely adore this sequence. I try to do 8 and 8. Sink, let's take this backwards. Step pakwa. Sink. Open, step back. Sink. Open. Sink. And I really enjoy doing it as 3 sets forward and back, because I find by the time I've done the third set, I really feel like I'm connected and everything is calm and I'm one with whatever my thought was. So that's one of the things that I really enjoy. Okay, so now we have step up to raise hands. This one is getting, remember the elbows as they line up, the tailbone drops, the spine opens, there's length in the vertebra. This is a beautiful place to calm emotions. Hand goes to lower dantian, which is energy building. The other hand is reaching out. You expand that energy, and then you have the ability for white stork spreads his wings, is to be able to create anything new, open, basically to soar. No longer connected to the ground, but trying out all those new possibilities. Sink back, heel goes out, and then sink and open the spine. So that's a great place to be able to do that. Okay, what I'm going to get you to do is 3 commencements and see where your breath is. So while you've been listening to me, see if you still have a nice deep breath. You do that. I have a cat that is clawing at the back door immensely. You're taking in your deep breaths. Come on, Missy. Hey, come on over. Hey, come on over. They're just doing commencements and breathing. Hey, you say hello. Everybody's been watching you guys. Hey, here you go. All right, so what I want to know was your breath up here. Was it as deep as it could be? So while you were listening, just to know that you might hold your breath a little tighter while you're listening and learning. And then that tells you, make sure you take time for your Tai Chi for yourself. You get your breath nice and deep. Okay, so let's just do 3 more, and it's for you. Arms float. And the other day we did walking on air. Just imagine the air just totally supporting you, lifting you up. It's so humid here that we would have that potential outside. We could just be suspended like the water in the air and then sink. Perfect. I just wanted you to remind yourself where that deep breath is and how that deep breath is working. All right, so let's go to spirals. Let's just do a little bit with saber, and I'm going to do it as seated because I just want you to remember equal and opposite, which is one of the principles in Tai Chi, and it's easy to do, you know, if you're putting one leg one way and your arm is going the other way. When you're seated, you're not thinking quite equal and opposite the same way, but this saber really helps you to identify that. And the one that I like to work with on this is when the saber goes over top of your right shoulder, and then it comes down across the left shoulder, and then finishes across in the zigzag by your right hip. I like that one because it is so easy to forget your left hand, and it's like, yeah, here I am, here I am, here I am. Structure. Just going to pull it around. But this left hand is dynamic. And I'm giving this to you because you may just want to play with this. This, I know, was instrumental in assisting my shoulder. Not the only thing, but it definitely helped. Okay, so this is going to go opposite. So you can see how my left hand has expanded as my right arm has gone over top. The other thing is I went to whole body. So pushing into the left foot, and it gives me an opening that crisscrosses to the other side of the body. Push into your right foot, it brings you over. Push into your left foot, and it brings you back. So now, this left arm didn't move very much, but it was engaged. So it wasn't just there, right? It actually expanded. The shoulders came towards each other, and then there was an expansion that came back through the shoulders. Okay, so let's do that one more time. Thinking about the feet too. So you have both feet engaged. Left foot gets just a little bit more awareness. Right foot gets awareness. Left foot gets awareness. Comes down to your hip. And what I noticed with my hands, I don't know if you could see, they actually moved with me. And we know about positioning of the palms changes the pelvis. So there is this dynamic little piece that goes on in that opening. You want to do it one more time. You see what your arms are doing, because you probably were observing more than thinking about what you were doing. So here you go. So you've got opposite awareness in the left, awareness into the right, awareness into the left. Okay. Now, if you put awareness into the right, that starts the spiral around, lift up as high as you can. Awareness is going to come into the sit bones, and then there's going to be a sink into the feet, which goes into the pelvis, which opens and drops it down. Okay, so let's do that part again. So you were done at your hip. Awareness in your right starts the spiral. The spiral goes all the way around. Awareness into the left foot, sink, and it's going to come out. Okay, now I didn't go forward into my feet. I could have, but I chose to stay upright and just notice by placing weight into my feet, I could shift my pelvis so the tailbone would line up with the bench, and that gave me a little bit of a shift in the pelvis. We put the two together. Open. You notice my head is going with it. Turn down to my hip. My eyes just keep scanning at the same time. Out. Okay. Now you may have looked at me to see what my head was going to do, so let's do it. This time you do it, I'll describe the head. So you're looking over your right shoulder. You come back to look over to the left. You come back to look towards the right. You scan back to the left. All the way around, look straight forward, and hold forward with a nice straight neck. Okay, and that's a whole body movement. So I didn't go look, look. I let the whole body take me there. Crunch, crunch. Okay, that's that little piece. The other one that I really enjoyed playing with is the figure eight. And this was what I was saying, you need to make sure you go up in the middle. And that's what happens with this pattern. You go up in the middle. And this is a great way to turn the brain on and to connect it to the body at the same time. And that figure eight pattern is going to come through all of the body. Okay, so if you drop the saber down, your the fingertips are at your arm. You have a lift. Awareness in your left foot, down into your right. Pull that straight up the center. Awareness in your right, down into the left. Pulls up. Awareness in the left, down, pull up the right. Awareness in your right, down and pull up the left. And now you have all the way around, which you knew about before. Sink. That's a beautiful little pattern to get the whole body, especially on the inside, really working. You may not have a saber. Choose whatever you like. You put the saber aside. You can take the hands you have. Pull up. Sink. Pull up. Sink. Pull up. All the way around. Sink. So you can see how I can do that without even having it. It's a beautiful movement. I know it looks like a dance when you get into it. Okay, last part. Whenever you're doing Tai Chi or you're relaxing, you always want to be energy building. So if you sit back into the chair, you get your ice cold lemonade in the summertime. Wintertime would be your hot chocolate, your tea. You sink back, you cross your legs. I'm just going to relax for a few minutes. And you sink back onto the sit bone, onto the tailbone. You close the spine up. You crunch the back muscles. You've shut all the energy flow off. So what you want to do is keep that flow going. So you sit down and you've got your iced tea there, whatever. Then you can do a few exercises just sitting. Energy building. You're thinking about, I'm going to give myself a gift. I'm going to relax for a few moments. This is relaxing. This is relaxing and creating energy flow where you may have created blocks in what you were involved in. Okay, and we've done that one before. Maybe it's this one. And this one opens lung and circulatory system. So breathing and heart. Right? And you could bring this in. And the body's going, oh, thank you so much. This is wonderful. You're energizing me. And before you know it, you'll be completely shifted in what you're thinking of. Now, if you do want to do a little energy twist on it, cross your right over your left, cross here, but you'll notice I didn't lean back. I stayed seated. Cross it over. You could do this lying in bed, if you were lying down. And put the tongue on the roof of your mouth, nice deep breath. This is Cook's Hookups. Wayne Cook created this. And this just links up the figure 8 patterns in the body. Nice big breath in. You probably notice the body starts to relax. Let that go. And one more. Let that go. And then side by side, fingertips together in front of the belly button. We did learn it also with the thumb coming up by thymus, right here, collarbone. And we also learned it, thumbs coming up towards third eye or brow chakra. I usually do it in front of the belly button to link up 5 elements. Whatever is fine, as long as it's relaxed. Let that go and in. Let that go. And one more. And let that go. And you've energized yourself. You took your rest, and instead of shutting the system down, you actually brought it back into flow and balance, and you're ready to go. Okay, so that is episode 107, and tomorrow is our celebration 108, and the finish of the series. So I will be meeting you at noon Atlantic time, which is 11 Atlantic time, which is 7 a.m. Pacific. I will love you for getting out of bed early. And please have a glass of cheer to celebrate being a part of this series and being together. And if you wish to be a part of the Zoom gathering afterwards, you just need to send me a message and I'll be happy to send you a link. And from there, we have the last of the Tai Chi Wellness and the Seated Form series videos being produced. I saw the first one today. There's about 10 more to be released. And the one I saw today is why is Tai Chi good for my body? I think I mentioned a few of those things today. That'll be coming out shortly. You'll be able to see snippets coming along. I won't be quiet. I will be sharing things, but I hope that you find the way through the summer to bring Tai Chi into your world and make it yours. That is my quest for myself. As I take a break from the regular broadcasts, I will be finding within me my power and my need to do Tai Chi for myself. And I hope that you will take the same time and celebrate it as well. And I hope that when the classes open up for you, wherever you are located, I hope that you are able to go and be with your community and to be able to really build the energy like we can do in the classroom setting. And of course, to be able to learn with an instructor in front of you who can help tweak your stance, posture, help you with different ideas. That's really important to find a good instructor who can assist you, and also to have some buddies that you can gather with. The energy just magnifies when we're together. So I thank you. I will see you tomorrow a little bit earlier. And for those who are on different time zones, and are still able to join in, I look forward to having you there. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Take care.